apprentice Skywalker will be.
Man, this intro just gives me the feels. So damn nostalgic. Can I begin by saying how hyped I was for this show? It was years in the making, and there was a time where this show had some question marks on whether it would actually be made or not. Order 66 from the perspective of younglings. Seeing all these Inquisitors in live action is such a dream come true for us fans of the animated and video game Star Wars material.
In actuality, I would say Jedi hunt themselves.
The whole idea of Jedi hunting themselves makes a lot of sense. They have been training to help those in need, and they can't help themselves from doing so, even if it means exposing themselves.
Doing.
And he was correct. The Jedi exposed himself to save the civilian.
You're wasting your time, you know that, right? You'll never find us all.
Setting the tone early that Reva isn't the type to talk these things through. Our first look at Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan in 17 years. And he looks great.
It's only half. Please, I have a family.
Something you want to say?
Kenobi has been able to fight the itch to help others, which is what kept him safe for so long. It would make sense for Kenobi to suffer from PTSD due to fighting Anakin. This was the person he was trusted to develop into a Jedi, and instead, he thinks he's killed him because he couldn't save him from being corrupted. Our first look at young Luke and Owen. Through all of the marketing leading up to this show, Leia wasn't mentioned once. They did a fantastic job with this pleasant surprise.
I'm asking you to leave us alone, Ben.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
Low blow. All but good intentions, but damn, that's gotta sting.
Worded well.
Or you'll be punished. Hands go first. We're not under the Empire's.
She warned you, didn't she?
You know something?
This entire scene with Reva and Owen is edge of your seat stuff. It really shows how terrifying Reva is and how much of a pain in the ass she will be going forward. And Owen's not the type to fold under pressure. He could have given up Kenobi, but did not.
One decision for yourself in your entire life, and you never will. I may not have seen much, but I can see that.
That's an elite burn. They nailed it with casting young Leia.
Hello, princess.
Yeah, I didn't have Flea appearing in Star Wars on my bingo card. The road to redemption starts now for Kenobi.
You sure he's gonna come?
He fought beside her father during the war. He'll come.
Of course Reva is behind this. And the idea that the Jedi will hunt themselves is working once again. Reva knows Kenobi won't be able to live with himself, knowing he could have saved Leia but didn't. And we are off Tatooine. Finally.
Any credits? Help a veteran get a warm meal.
Man, this interaction was heartbreaking. It is, however, awesome to see Tamora Morrison back for this little cameo.
If she's here, you're never gonna see her again. Here. That one's free. A couple more of those and you'll forget she ever existed.
The nicest nicest spice dealer ever.
I'm sending a mother and son to your gate. You will let them through when they arrive.
Quite the elaborate scam, but at least he actually helped them. A Star Wars meth lab. Not something I knew I needed to see.
Right.
Yeah, he's a little bit rusty. Still gave them the beats though.
Well, everybody bleeds.
The first interaction between Leia and Kenobi goes exactly how I thought it would.
The little green cape. And the gloves.
You think the less you say, the less you give away. It's the opposite.
How old are you?
We all thought the same thing. Was it really necessary? No. Was it cool? Yeah. Well, I love the confidence at least. Obi-Wan is obviously quite rusty with the Force, as he hasn't used it in years. However, he was still able to save Leia.
Where is he?
Don't go.
Flea, your Star Wars journey has been short-lived, but I enjoyed every second of it.
I am Haja Estri, Jedi.
You're no Jedi, but you know where one is.
That was counterproductive, but at least he had good intentions.
Obi-Wan, I can feel you. You're not going to die today.
The scene with Kenobi and Reva is horror-esque. Moses Ingram is killing it.
You didn't know. He's alive, Obi-Wan. Anakin Skywalker is alive.
I'm so glad we have this moment on screen. Seeing Kenobi's reaction to hearing that he did not kill Anakin and that he has become Darth Vader is one of the best moments in the series. Ewan McGregor's facial expressions, coupled with the music, make this scene work so well.
Watch and learn.
This moment had us all gasping. Did they really just break canon?
Anakin.
What a way to end an episode. Goosebumps. Man, I love seeing the full transformation process for Vader getting suited up. It's crazy how the sound of someone breathing is one of the most iconic sounds in cinematic history. Vader's castle is one of my favorite locations in the universe, so I'm glad we get to see it in live action.
The Grand Inquisitor means nothing. Kenobi is all that matters now.
James Earl Jones is always a win. Our first glimpse of Hayden Christensen as Anakin in almost 2 decades. Kenobi is really crumbling on the inside after learning that Anakin is still alive.
But it's not safe.
He seems friendly. Hi, I'm Luma. This is my friend, my father.
Well, she is quite fearless, isn't she? Just like we all remember Leia to be.
He brought me here to see the place where he met my mother.
Well, this is incredibly tense. The improv skills are impeccable from these two.
You called her Leia. I thought her name was Luma.
That was her mother's name. I get confused.
Smooth.
I remember a baby. Yes, I think I had a brother.
This is our first mention of Obi-Wan possibly having a brother. Hopefully we learn more about this in the future.
Don't worry, I know these fellas.
A couple of strays I found. Thought you might want to check them out.
That's totally on brand for Star Wars characters. Kenobi ate through these guys like it was nothing. It's easy to forget how good he is with the blaster.
You're not the first Jedi to come through here.
What I would give to read the names on these walls.
Quinlan was here.
Quinlan Voss name dropped. I love how deep they are going into Legends material.
She'll make a good fighter one day.
You were right about that. Man, this scene is jaw-dropping. Vader is truly a horror villain in a sci-fi franchise. It's the first time Kenobi has actually seen Vader since finding out it is Anakin.
Go with Tala. I'll be right behind you.
Vader knows that Kenobi will never be able to let innocent people die for him to escape. The moment we've all been waiting for. Kenobi versus Vader for the first time. This isn't a fair matchup, as it would be. Kenobi hasn't lit a lightsaber since he was forced into hiding. An epic score during a battle. This is what makes Star Wars such a great viewing experience. Vader wants to give him a taste of his own medicine. This was so badass. Well, that was clutch. It's almost as if Vader is playing with his food. He can easily stop this, but he knows that he will meet Kenobi again. Man, those back-to-tanks sure are handy, huh? It's fitting that both Kenobi and Vader are now relying on it.
I am a princess of Alderaan.
You have no rights here, princess.
Reva versus Leia is quite an interesting matchup, isn't it? Both fierce individuals who never back down. I'm loving the variety of sets we're seeing on the show. So far, we had a handful of planets. Now we get some underwater action. A nice change of pace from some of the recent Star Wars shows. I do love me some stealth scenes. I don't know why, but this gives me some Splinter Cell vibes. And Splinter Cell is always a win.
I hope you like pain.
I'll never tell you where they are.
Leia does not fumble under pressure.
What are you doing to me? The same thing I'd do to anyone who doesn't embrace the Empire.
The Empire is not opposed to torturing kids. Nice to get a reminder of how deluded they are. This is epic. What a great use of sound and appearance of the lightsaber. Man, Obi-Wan is still great with that thing. Even with the time off, these troopers stand no chance. Well, I hope they receive swimming lessons as part of Empire training. This great escape scene is accentuated nicely by the score.
I got you, Sully, just go!
We will always remember you. What a hero.
I put a tracker on the ship.
I have underestimated you.
Reva has always seemed to be one step ahead of Kenobi and crew this entire time. It's nice to see how close these two have gotten in such a short time. Kenobi has never been able to forgive himself for failing Anakin. But now he's been able to redeem himself a little bit by being there for Leia.
Oh, there you are.
Beginning to think you weren't coming, Master.
Our actual first look of Hayden getting back into the role of Anakin. He looks the same as before.
You have done well, Grand Inquisitor.
To Reva, her plan is starting to come together. She has seemingly gained favor with Vader.
What are you doing here?
I got into a fight with that scary Lady Inquisitor. Now I'm wanted by the Empire.
I'm so glad he wasn't just wasted on one episode.
A Jedi's goal is to defend life, not take it.
Mercy doesn't defeat an enemy, Master.
Man, this sequence has me feeling so nostalgic.
Haja, will you keep your eye on her?
I am not a babysitter, Ben.
You are now.
Order 66, you were a youngling. You saw him. Killed the other younglings,
Enough.
but somehow you...
Enough!
Finally getting confirmation of how Reva knows Anakin. She survived Order 66 and saw full-on Anakin killing the younglings.
Where were you while he was killing my friends? He was your Padawan. Why didn't you save us?
Obi-Wan has always felt the guilt of those bodies on his conscience. Man, these guys held it down. Why do I always get attached to these droids? I really should know better. They always die in the saddest of ways.
Go! May the Force be with you.
Tala with a warrior sacrifice.
You going to fight him?
Are you gonna fight without a weapon?
There are other ways to fight.
Although Kenobi is clearly not as strong as Anakin anymore, he has always been smarter. He knows all of his weaknesses and can read them like a book. What a badass display of Vader's powers. And simultaneously, a badass display of Kenobi's wits. Did she really think it was going to be that easy? I don't think we've ever seen a better showcase of how effortlessly powerful Vader is. Reva is strong in her own right, but Vader managed to disarm her and embarrass her without even fighting back.
Did you really believe I did not see it?
So they didn't break canon after all.
Owen, help the boy.
So maybe Luke is a part of this series after all.
Wait your turn. When I'm done.
Remember this dude? Kenobi's employee from episode 1? Not so tough now, I guess.
Leave me here!
I'm the one that Vader wants. If I go, he will follow.
Kenobi knows he has to face Vader one more time in order for the group of civilians to live.
I'm not leaving my home. At least here we have a chance. We're enough. You and me.
Beru is about that life, isn't she?
It's not about us, is it? You want to do it. It's about you and him.
It's clear that Kenobi is seeking out this confrontation with Vader. He wants to see if his friend is still salvageable or not. He won't give up on him until he knows.
My lord, we must continue our pursuit of the insurgents.
Follow Kenobi.
As for Vader, he wants the fight, even if it means letting the refugees flee. The stage is set for the Battle of the Ages. Vader and Kenobi in their primes. Every shot of this battle is cinematic as hell. I love this widescreen shot. Kenobi's iconic stance. I love the rage you can hear in Vader's voice. This is personal. You can see the difference in Kenobi's ability from the first fight in episode 3 and now. He's become way more in tune with the Force and is now a real threat to Vader. Just an unbelievable display of power from Vader. Made Kenobi look like no match for him. I gotta say, they're putting up a hell of a fight for two regular people facing an Inquisitor.
You have failed, Master.
Vader forgot rule number 1 in cinema. If you don't see the dead body, he's probably still alive.
What do you want?
Justice.
Reva's blinded by the rage of not being able to defeat Anakin. So instead, she's going after his blood, even if that means it makes her more like Vader than she realizes. What a shot. One we will see for the ages when discussing Star Wars. Kenobi has truly been unleashed. One thing about this battle that makes it top tier for Star Wars is the usage of the environment. We've never seen Vader be outmatched until now. The sounds of Vader struggling to breathe are horrifying. And this shot right here, it was worth waiting 6 episodes for.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin.
Kenobi tries to call out and apologize to Anakin because he hopes that his friend is still in there. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen both kill this scene. Kenobi genuinely looks mortified, and Anakin is still terrifying even at the point of defeat.
Not your failure,
Obi-Wan.
The sound mixing of Hayden's voice and James Earl Jones's chills.
You didn't kill Anakin. I did.
This line right here is perfectly executed. First, we have Anakin giving his friend a little bit of solace. He can probably tell how guilty he feels, and gives him a way to relieve it by saying that he is the reason Anakin is dead, not Kenobi. The blue light from the reflection of Kenobi's saber is also a small piece of symbolism, showing that maybe there is still a little bit of good left in Vader.
And my friend is truly dead.
Perfect delivery.
Goodbye, Darth.
This cements in Kenobi's mind that his friend is too far gone, even calling him Darth in the process. Obviously, we knew she didn't kill him, but the scene still managed to leave us wondering. Reva ultimately doesn't go through with it, showing that there is still some good left in her.
Who you become now, it is up to you.
She is officially done with the Empire.
Our
important.
You seem agitated.
Kenobi means nothing. I serve only you.
Palpatine is the only person who has a leash on Vader.
Will I ever see you again?
Someday, if you ever need help from a tired old man.
This scene just hits different, knowing that she will lead himself again.
May the Force be with you.
You want to meet him?
Hello there.
He said the thing.
Master Qui-Gon.
Well, took you long enough.
They finally paid off all the foreshadowing to Qui-Gon showing up. I'm so glad that, in the end, we got to see Liam Neeson back in the role. Although briefly, it put a big smile on my face. Overall, the series nailed all the best things from the prequels. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen gave fantastic performances in their almost 2-decade-long wait to return. The show progressively got better in my opinion, with the last 2 episodes being some of my favorite live-action Star Wars content we've ever seen. The final fight between Vader and Kenobi is one of the best fights in Star Wars history. Not only is the choreography awesome, but the dialogue in between answers all the questions we had. The casting was spot on for young Leia, and I hope we get to see more of her in the future. Overall, although it isn't the best Star Wars content ever, it sure was fulfilling, and it had some moments that will become iconic.